Do you enjoy reading books? Why or why not? Yes, I actually really enjoy reading books most of the time. Uh, the reason is, well, very simple. Everyone knows knowledge is power, and through books, we can learn a lot of knowledge. For example, I am uh, interested in psychology, let's say, and to know the rope, you have to learn the rope, right? Yeah, to learn the rope, right? So, by reading books about psychology uh, from experts and psychologists, I can expand my knowledge and broaden my horizon. And also other books like a novel, especially a sci-fi novel when the settings is in the far future. Uh, it can help you to boost your imaginary by imagine form the image of things in your mind by reading the sentences. What types of books do you prefer to read? Like I said, the main type of books that I often read is fiction, most not noticeably sci-fi. And to be in detail, I like to read books about Warhammer 40k. Is a sci-fi setting, take place in the far future, where there is only war and bloodshed and other grim dark things. The reasons for this is that, like I said, it helps me to imagine, to boost my imagination, to you know have some form of entertainment, because sometimes you may find you know eyes on the screen 24/7, and it is very time consuming and very tight a lot of times. So instead of watching random YouTube videos, why not try to read some books and have fun with your imagination, right? Imagination, right? How often do you read books? Well, not. I don't really have that much time to read books. Sometimes, if I feel like I am keen on reading things, maybe 4 times a week. But usually, I don't really have a lot of times in my hands, so probably twice a week, at least. At least. Are there any books that have had a significant impact on your life? Yes, there is, and it was a book called "Who Took Your Cheese." The books is a small little books that consist of a story about two rats, or I might say a mouse, and they are in the maze. They have this maze that have cheese in it, and the two rat will uh, enter the maze daily to find cheese. But the main thing is one rat keep content with what it have, and after sometimes the cheese storage that this mice found eventually deplete, and it have no more cheese, while the other rat mice. It does not stay in the same places, and it find and try to track down as much cheese storage as possible. And the lesson I learned from these books is you shouldn't you shouldn't stay in your comfort zone too long. You should try to reach to other things. You have to sometimes you have to move back and forward to experience everything, to learn about new things, because eventually everything that you have right now may evaporate someday. So why not keep updating yourself? Why not keep learning more things? Do you prefer reading physical books or ebooks? Why? uh, I am not a very organized person, as you can see. I'm not very organized. So, uh, having have too much physical books means that I will have to find some place to store them and put them back, which I am not an expert of it. But and so I find downloading ebooks is way easier and more consistent method. First of all, unlike physical books, with ebooks, you can read it. You can bring it with yourself fairly easy with the help of some things like your mobile phones. I mean, right? At the moment, the mobile phones is an absolutely crazy gadgets. Absolutely crazy items that you can have multiple things in it, and ebooks is one of them. You can download ebooks and read it offline. And also, you unlike physical books, as I mentioned, with ebooks you don't have to visit every bookstore possible. You don't have to go to the library to to rent a books or a book to or buy books. With ebooks, you can find them on internet and download or buy them immediately. So you don't have to waste your time in finding books, finding place to buy them, which is also a nice touch. And lastly, a lot of books physical form, they don't always exist in the language that you want. So, for example, I want to read this Star Wars novel, things like that. These the Clone War. You know, but there is no such things in Vietnam library or bookstore, or maybe JoJo Bizarre Adventure. There's no such things in my country bookstore and library. So, well, what I can do, I can learn. I mean, I can buy them. I can read them online, and so that it gives me more choices to read, unlike conventional physical books. Have you ever read a book in a foreign language? Yes, actually a lot. Uh, uh, so as I say, I like sci-fi. I like fiction. I like a lot of bizarre things. So it is a uh, pretty straightforward things. To read those things, they are likely in English form. So yes, a lot. actually like 90% of my books I have ever read is in English. Well, why do we need to read books? Oh, well, first of all, as I said, to broaden your horizon, to expand your knowledge, to you know, to gain more knowledge, to learn new things. And sometimes you might find new interests and new friends because I think there's a lot of people who read books, and a lot of them are intellectual le- lecturer. Is that right? A lot of them are smart, and you can find really good friend. Sharing those hobby together, and to, as I said, learn under one's belt. You know, my dad, he has a lot of knowledge under his belt, and why so? Because he read a tons of books. He have stacks of books at every corner in his room dedicated to psychology, science, surgery, medication, and philosophy, things like that. There's a lot of things, and you can also use those knowledge to show up with your friends, right? Pretty nice, I guess. How can we encourage people to read more books? I think for the schools, for the parents, maybe you should look after your children, your student better, especially for parents, because after all, kids forms their personalities and personality through their family firstly. So I see a lot of Vietnamese parents. They often seems very tired. My kid is crying. Here is my iPhone. Alright. Go to random corners or go to your bedroom, watch Coco Melons 8 hours, and then we have lunch. I think that is so disencouraging. That is such a disencouragement. Why not instead of toss in an iPad or iPhone laptop at your kids and leave them like that? Why not show them the beauty of pursuit knowledge, of the persuasion of the pursuit of knowledge? Why not show them something much more exciting? I think personally, books is a way better form of education and leisurement. First of all, some of you might disagree because learning alphabet and numbers through and shape through videos is actually better. But other things like let's say learn about social skills, learn about a lot of things that people may not give you for free in the internet. And also, as I mentioned, a child, if a child is, their brain is very creative, so why not let them use it to the maximum potential by let them read books, right? And secondly, is comes from the children and people themselves. They themselves have to be at least some kind of interested in books to read them. After all, you cannot force somebody to do something they don't like. So yeah, there is that.